Yeah. So today, what I want to talk about is a third-party application. So use of third-party application. So um, how you can utilize a third-party application to connect to a MySQL server and try to retrieve data from the server or something like that. So I briefly I want to talk about that. So basically, yeah, the thing is this. So we covered everything about the relational database design. So we talked about conceptual data modeling, relational modeling, and also implementation and SQL. So now it's a different topic. So why do we use a third-party application? It's because it provides additional powerful functionality, which are not provided by like MySQL server or other like software like a Workbench. So basically, by utilizing third-party application, we are able to increase productivity because of the easiness of use if third-party applications are utilized well. So there are this kind of thing: Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Power BI, Tableau. So in there, you can use the query to prepare data from SQL Server, and you can utilize it, and then you can perform data analysis in this third-party application. So basically, SQL Server is where we manage data. And if you want to analyze data, you have to utilize third-party application, basically. And there are other tools, something like a fly-speed SQL query. In MySQL, if we want to design a query, we have to code. We have to remember the SQL statement, and we have to actually design the code, and then we can perform the query. So that's the like regular step. But there are some other third-party application like this, which helps you to create a query in an easier way. So in this case, a Flight Speed SQL query, they provide a graphical query designer. So even though you don't know too much about the code, even though you don't know too much about how to write SQL code, you are still able to design a query by utilizing graphical user interface. So that kind of tool also exists. Most of them are uh, the paid version, but Flight Speed SQL query, that's the free version. So to utilize a third-party application, you need a connector. Basically, connector provides connectivity between database and the third-party application through industry standards, which is ODBC. So ODBC is basically open database connectivity. So if you use a third-party application and if you want to connect to database server, there should be something in the middle which helps you kind of a connection. So you need this connector basically. So you can install this connector from this source. So many of the open source and the free software we use ODBC standard, which is a kind of international standard. So you can download this. You can go to this connector ODBC, this website, and download it. And there's also connector for .NET application. So this .NET application is only for Windows because it's made by Microsoft. So many of the Microsoft application, like Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Power BI, all those will utilize a connector.net basically. So you can download that. And also if you are familiar with Python, also from Python, you are able to connect to MySQL server and you can retrieve information. So for that, you need a connector Python. So I'm not going to cover the last one, how to retrieve data from Python, because yeah, I don't think we don't have enough time to cover everything. So I not cover it, but I put some manual and examples here. So if you are utilizing Python a lot in your work, or if you plan to do that in the future, and then if you wanna like access MySQL server from the Python, then here is manual and the examples. There's a link, so you can go there and check it. So it's very detailed. Yeah, the information there is very detailed, so it should be easy to follow. So what I'm asking you is this: if you are using if you're using like a Mac or Windows, you can go to this ODBC. You can click it actually. So if I click, then you will see this website. So this is a connector ODBC. So you can choose your operating system, and then you can download it. So for Windows, you can download the MSI installer. So there's a 32-bit and the 64-bit. There are two versions, right? So you have to choose one, one which is the same as your MySQL version. So how to find your MySQL version? You can simply, and let me show you that. I can simply go to your MySQL Workbench. You can open it. And here, if you go to the, so on the slide, actually I put it. So let me show you that too. So here, let me see. Yeah, so if you go to the help menu on the top, and here, if you go to the bottom, there's about Workbench. So if you click that, there's information. So there's a version information, and there's this, whether it is a 32-bit or 64-bit, that information is there. So you can find the same version, same, yeah, what do you call this? Yeah, something, yeah. And then you can download that one. So so for this one, basically you can find the appropriate version and you can download the MSI installer if you're using Windows. If you are using Mac, you can also find the Mac OS here, and you can download the this version and install it. Yeah. So you can install this ODBC connector, and also if you are using Windows, you may also install one more connector, which is a connector net, the second one. So this is for Microsoft application, like Microsoft Excel. So you can go there, and if you are using Windows, you can download this one and also install this. Yeah, here. So download it and please install ODBC connector and also connector net if you are using Windows. So installation itself will not take that much time. So let me go to the next slide while you guys are installing. Okay, so the first application I'm going to use it as an example is Microsoft Excel. So for this software itself, I'm not going to talk too much about it because I'm sure that everyone here is familiar with the Microsoft Excel. So it's a most popular software which is used to analyze and like basically visualizing data. Yeah. So before we utilize third-party applications, so I prepared a data set in the Blackboard, which is called the Sakila database, basically. So it contains multiple information. But anyway, anyway, I prepared the Sakila.sql file at Blackboard. Basically, you can use this SQL file to create database at your MySQL. So basically, go to Blackboard and go to the course contents. Then under there, if you scroll down, there will be this file called the sakila.sql. So I already put it there on the Blackboard. So make sure that you download this. So click this, and then download it into desktop. And save. I already have a file, but let me just replace it. So download this file in your computer because we are going to utilize this. So after downloading it, let's open MySQL Workbench. So let's open it and go to your local server. So let me click this local instance under MySQL connection to go to my server. And here, let's load that SQL file, which we just downloaded. So to load that file, basically, here you can use this option. So on the top menu bar, there are multiple icons. The second icon here is open a SQL script file. So let's click that. And let's open the Sakila.sql file, which you just downloaded from the Blackboard. So select this, click open. Then here is the basically the SQL file, which I just downloaded. So it contains multiple query. Basically, all the queries it has is about creating table and adding data into the table. So once you download this file, we want to open this file on the MySQL. We want to perform this query. So to do that, first of all, make sure that nothing is selected here. So basically, if some portion of the file is selected like this, only this portion will be performed. Because we want everything in this file to be performed, make sure that nothing is selected first. And then here on the top bar here, there's this icon, which is lightning icon, which is about executing the portion of the query, the selected portion of the query. So click this lightning icon. So if I click this lightning icon here, the query will be performed as you see on the bottom. So it's still being performed. And then, yeah, it looks like now it's done. Okay, so if your query is done, then on the left navigation bar, next to the schema, you will see this icon here, the refresh icon. So click this refresh icon to see whether database is implemented correctly. So if I click this, I will see that now here I have a Sakila database and there are multiple tables. So if I open table, yeah, there are a lot of tables. So there's an actor table, there's a film actor table, and there's a film table. So we are going to utilize these three tables basically. Okay, so now my data is ready in my server. So basically these three tables are connected like this. So we have a actor here, and we have a film here, and we have this assignment table. So what it means is this. Basically, it's a many-to-many relationship between actor and film. So actor may work in many film, and each film can have many actors. So it's that information. So let's say that if we want to list the information of each actor and each of the films played by that actor together, then we may design this query. So basically, what we want to do is this. We want for each actor, we simply want to list all the films information together if they were played in the film. So let's type this query in MySQL to see whether it works correctly. So first of all, yeah, I can go to the MySQL, and if you want to make a new query tab here, so basically if you want to type new query here, you can choose this first option, first icon on the top menu. The first icon is about creating a new SQL tab. So let me click that, and here I can type this query to see whether it works correctly. So select actor.actor ID, first name, last name, title, rental rate, length, replacement, post. Okay. From actor table, and we are going to use join. So inner join with the film actor, which is assignment table, based on actor.actor ID, which is a primary key, and film actor.actor ID, which is a foreign key. And then we'll join again. So basically we are joining three tables. So that one should be also joined, should be joined with the film table, which has more information about film, based on film actor.film ID, which is a foreign key, should be same as primary key of the film table. And finish the query with a semicolon like this. So so basically you can prepare query like this, and before you perform the query, make sure that your Sakila database is selected. So I double clicked it. So Sakila database is shown as bold, the bold sign, the bold character. Then image this database is selected, and when we perform a query, our query will be performed in that database. So we have this and we have this. So now click this lightning icon to see the results of this query. So if I click lightning icon, yeah, it will show all the information. So basically Penelope Guinness, she played in a movie called Academy Dinosaur. And the rental rate, the daily rental rate is about $1. It was 60 minutes long. And the DVD price is about $21, something like that. And also we have other information like here Bob played in the movie called Ace Goldfinger. It's expensive, so the daily rental rate is about $5. But actually the DVD is cheaper, so it's about $13 for DVD, something like that. So we have this information. One thing here is this. So after you perform query in MySQL, you will have this query results. So actually you can export this query result into a file, and you can use that file to analyze data. That's like a straightforward option too. So that option also exists. But before you do that, you have to make sure that you change this setting into don't limit. So basically what I mean is that here, when you design MySQL, on the top, there's this option, how many results you want to show based on the results of this query. So by default, I think it's about limit to 1000 rows. So only 1000 rows of query results will be shown. But if you want to see entire results, you can set as don't limit like this. And then you can perform the query. And then if you want to export your query results into a file, then you can click this export option. So which is here. So here's query results. And on the top here, in the middle, there's this export option here. So this icon. So you can click that to export your query results into a file. So I click that and I go to the desktop, and I can save this as a sakila.csv. So I save this query results into a file, which is sakila.csv, and click save. And then, yeah, in my case, I replace it because I did it before. And then later, you can simply open the CSV file. So if I go to my desktop, I have that file. And then I can open that file in. So if I open that file, let me see. Yeah, so basically it will be like this. So basically the same information, the results of the query is saved in this CSV file. So here I can do some like data analysis, but that's like a very straightforward way of doing it. Okay, so let me close this and let me, yeah. So that's one way. And another way is this. So you can also run SQL query in Microsoft Excel to retrieve information. So that's also possible. So if you want to perform SQL query directly in Microsoft Excel, currently, I think it only works smoothly only for Windows PC at the moment because it's a Microsoft program, and you need a connector to do that. So before you try to perform SQL query directly in Microsoft Excel, make sure that you install Connector.net, which I already talked about in the beginning. So if you installed this correctly, then you can actually utilize this step here, which I show. So let me open the Microsoft Excel to show you how this works actually. So here I can open Microsoft Excel, which is here. Okay, so just open this. So here, what you can do is this. If you go to the data menu on the tab, here there is data tab, so click this. And under this data tab, there are multiple options, but if you look at the left part, the most left part here, there is a get data. So click this arrow icon on the get data. So if I click this, there are multiple options again. And inside here, the second option is from database. And if you go to from database, in the middle, you will see this option from MySQL database. Also installation for the connector. So it's very simple. So basically, let me show you. Change the screen into, oh yeah, let's just go here. So so to install this connector.net, you need to have a Windows PC. So it doesn't work for the Mac because it's it's for the .NET application, which is a Microsoft application basically. So if you are using Mac, you cannot follow this step. So you have to do what I showed earlier. So you have to export results and you have to open the file in Microsoft Excel. But if you want to use Microsoft Excel and connect it to MySQL in Windows PC, then you can utilize this option. So you can simply click this. If you click this link, it will go to this website, and here there's one installer, right? So there's this MSI installer, so you can download it and you can just click next. You can just use the default step, and then it will be installed. And then if you open Microsoft Excel, you will be able to you will be basically able to follow what I'm showing you in the screen. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Okay, so let me go back to the Excel. So again here under get data, under from database. So also again, if you miss this step, don't worry, it's all in the slide too. So I put every information here, so you can follow this later too. So under get data from database, and here you can find in the middle, there's from MySQL database. Depending on your version of Microsoft Excel, I see that some students doesn't have this option. So some students Microsoft Excel, I see that there's no option from MySQL database. That's also possible, depending on which version of Microsoft Excel and which source you used to download Microsoft Excel. I think it depends on something, so I don't know exactly. But if you see from MySQL database, you can click this. Okay, and here it will ask you to put server IP address and the database name. So if you are working in a company, you can put your company's server IP address, like a company's database server IP address. That will work. And in this case, what we are going to do is that we are going to use the local server. So you can follow this step here. So here, first of all, there's advanced option here. So click this advanced option to open more information, and you can type what's shown on the slide. So basically for the server name, you can type localhost :3306. So it's a little blurry, but basically this information, you can type it. So I can type the same thing, localhost 3306. And for the database name, Sakila, which we just created using the SQL file that I uploaded on Blackboard. And here, you can type the same SQL which we typed in the MySQL workbench. So simply I can go there, and I can copy this, and I can put it here. Yeah, the same thing, which we typed earlier in the MySQL basically. So after you type all this, if you click OK, then it will ask you to put this information. So basically, you have to put username. So you have to choose database first. So if you click OK, you will see if you click OK, you will see this screen. Here, first of all, choose by default Windows is selected. Make sure that you choose database. So click database and then type username and type the password for the root account which you made when you installed MySQL. And then click connect. So if it is the first time connecting MySQL from the Microsoft Excel, you will see this screen. So for me, I already did that before. So if I click OK, I skip that screen and go to the next one. Yeah, this one. So if you did that, then next screen will be this. So here it's showing that this information will be imported into your Microsoft Excel. So which is correct. So click load. So if you click load here, I think, yeah, my screen is not working. It looks like. Let me, yeah, just wait for a second. Let me, yeah, let me restart this. I think the screen is not working. So let me stop share and let me share again. Just a second. Yeah, I think sometimes it happens because I have too many programs opened in my computer. I think probably that's why. Okay, so let me share screen and oh, it's still. Let me try another way. Let me. Okay, so let me try again. Okay, so yeah, it looks like it's working now. Okay, so yeah, so if you load your data successfully into Microsoft Excel, then basically you will see something like this. So all the data is here. And if you want to do some analysis, then what you can do is this. You can go to the design. Where is it? Oh yeah, you can go to the table design tab, and there's a option called total row. So this is about Excel. So I will not put too much focus on this, but you can do something like this. I can utilize the total row, and total row will be shown at the bottom. So here you can do some aggregation. So for example, I can change this into average. Then I will know what is the average cost of each DVD. And I can also change this into average. Then average rental rate is about $3 per day. And average length will be 115 minutes. That's the average length of movie, something like that. So you can, yeah, after you load the data, you can do some analysis. So so actually previously, I think last year or 2 years ago, yeah, there was one student who were in this ITM program, and so she was in the full-time program. So after she finished her coursework, she got a job at the Tencent in Shenzhen, and she said that in Shenzhen she's working as like a data analyst or data scientist, something like that. And she said that when she's working as a data analyst in Shenzhen, basically she uses this kind of approach. So she connect to MySQL or other like a database server from the Excel, and she type SQL there to load the data. And after load the data, she do analysis in the Microsoft Excel, and then she report it to the senior, something like that. So this is one way of retrieving data from MySQL server by utilizing SQL query. So if you have like other database server, then you can basically do the same thing, but here you can choose the first option from SQL server database. It's like a general server database. So if you click that, it will basically ask you the similar information. So you can type it, and then the query will be performed, and you'll be able to load data from MySQL server or other database server, basically. So basically, yeah, here are some examples you can try. I mean, it's straightforward. We just did it. And next one is next one I want to introduce you about is Microsoft Power BI. So let me briefly talk because I don't think I have enough time to cover everything for this part today. So I can continue from the next part. So if I talk briefly about Power BI, basically Power BI is BI is just business intelligence. So Power Business Intelligence. So that is a business and data analytics service from Microsoft. So it provides interactive visualization with a self-service business intelligence capability. So basically, what it means is that you can create interactive visualization very easily. So that's the nice thing. And you are able to create report and dashboard, which is interactive, without having to depend on any IT staff or database administrator. So everything is you can utilize a graphical interface and you can design visualization, which is interactive very easily. So I will talk more about this next week. And basically, you can create this kind of graph. So it's very beautiful graph, very easily. So there are two types of Power BI you can utilize. One is a Power BI desktop. So it is free. Power BI desktop is free for everyone. So you can just download anytime, anywhere. So if you want to download desktop version, you can click this link and you can go there and you can download it. So it's very easy. And but if you want to use like advanced feature, of course you have to have a Office 365 account. So after installing, if you click this get started, so if you after installing, if you open it for the first time, you will see this menu, this pop-up screen. And in the middle, there's this get started button. So if you click that, you will have an option to sign in with your Office 365 account. So you can simply use our CHK account. So our CHK provides you Office 365 email account. You can use the same email address and same password here. Then you will be able to utilize the full features of Power BI. But one thing is that installing Power BI desktop is also only available for Windows PC because it's a Microsoft program. And here you can do the same thing basically. So earlier in Microsoft Excel, I showed you how to connect to MySQL server and how to type SQL there to retrieve data from the server. There is the same option. There's get data. You can go to more, and there's a database option. There's a MySQL database option. So in the PC version, desktop Power BI version, you can follow the same step as you did in the Microsoft Excel to retrieve data from MySQL server. So it's the same thing basically. Same thing, you can put the server address, database name, SQL query, and then type the root password. Then you'll be able to retrieve data into your Power BI. But the desktop version is only available for Windows PC again. So what I'm gonna do is that I want to utilize a Power BI web version to show you how we can utilize this software, which this web application basically. Which I'm going to talk next week. But basically, everyone here has Office 365 account from our university. And that means that you are able to utilize this web version for free. So you are able to utilize almost all the functionality. So I'm going to talk about how to utilize it next week. But after that, if you want, you may practice more even after my class. And also you can utilize this tool for I don't know, when you make a report for your work in a company, Also for other courses, if you want to make like better presentation, better report, you can utilize this tool definitely. So while you are in the university, while you are having this account, I think you may try to make yourself familiarize with this tool because it's very interesting and very useful tool in the future, I think.